LD go for launch.
Do you mind 30 seconds?
Let's deploy.
The beta has landed.
Good evening. It's Saturday, October 16th, and we're here at iSpace's East Coast headquarters. Now you are looking at a live view of beta as it awaits 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 11:30 p.m. Universal Time launch from Pad B at Launch Complex 1. Welcome to the live webcast for the Firmament L1 mission. My name is Eric Toney, and I'm the data analyst here at iSpace. We're in the final stage now of launch preparation, as countdown with 5 minutes remaining on the clock to liftoff for this mission. This mission is a dedicated launch for the Falcon Arrow. Today's launch window is approximately 1 hour, and our operations team are not working any issues with the launch vehicle at this time, so with green across board, currently we're on track for today liftoff. Now today's launch mark our 17th orbital launch this year, and the 13th launch of Beta rocket. So now on today's mission, to launch the first batch of observation satellites for Falcon Arrow. The 20 satellites on board Beta today are called Firmament, and they have been designed to observe DRU with daily revisitability. And with liftoff just under 4 minutes, on your screen is the views of our Beta rocket. Beta is a liquid fuel launch vehicle, especially designed for the satellite deployment and human spaceflight. So the bottom two-thirds of the vehicle is the first stage. Its objectives is accelerate the vehicle through the DRU's atmosphere to space, and then separate from the rest of the rocket. From there, it will make its way back to DRU and attempt to land on landing zone 1 this evening. On top of the first stage is the interstage, connects the stages and houses battery, monopropellant tanks and the first stage flight computers. And then on the top of interstage is Beta's second stage, which take payload to its final orbit. After the first stage separates about 2.5 minutes into flight, the second stage will then carry the 20 Firmament satellites to orbit.
Vehicle is pressure F5 LD go for launch. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Liftoff.
We're off the pad and on our way to orbit once again. With a successful liftoff from iSpace Launch Complex 1, right now Beta is traveling at over 600 kilometers per hour, and it passed 3 kilometers in altitude. Very soon Beta will approach max Q, or maximum aerodynamic pressure. That moment when forces are at their greatest on the vehicle.
Vehicle through the max Q.
And there goes a call from our mission control on console. Beta is cleared the max Q. All the engines is continuing to look good on the path to orbit. Coming up next in the mission timeline is main engine cutoff, or MECO, as Beta's first stage engine power down, so the first and second stages of the vehicle can separate cleanly. Following that, the vacuum-optimized engine will ignite to carry the payload on board further into space, while Beta booster will begin its second burn, and we call it boost back burn, to reduce the lateral speed of the vehicle.
MECO. Stage separation.
As you've seen, we've a successful MECO, stage separation, and second stage engine ignition. Next we will be coming up on stage 1 boost back and fairing separation. And there's it. The fairing has separated. Clear the way for payload deployment coming up in approximately 10 minutes from now. And now the first stage engine has shut down. 5.5 minutes into flight, everything is looking great so far. And the next milestone will be for the first stage to perform its entry burn. Beta needs to execute an entry burn to slow itself down from hitting the dense part of the atmosphere. And without this burn, relying on the atmosphere alone, this low beta down would put unnecessary strain on the rocket. You also notice some honeycomb-like structures have deployed on the first stage on your screen. Those are 4 hypersonic rip band. They help to orient the rocket during re-entry by moving the center of pressure. There are also some plumes of gas coming out. This is cold nitrogen gas, which helps with attitude control. Both are essential to make sure that we have a nice, targeted landing. And successful completion of our second of 3 burns. As I mentioned earlier, we're going to recover this booster for first time back on land at landing zone 1. Has one more burn left. The landing burn, it begins just before we touch down and provides booster with a soft descent before we land. Oh, this is a great shot.
Stage 1 has landed.
That was as smooth as I've seen it. This booster has landed for the first time. That's 12 successfully landing of beta rocket. And second stage engine is still on its way to orbit. Let's back to our primary mission.
Seco.
As you just heard from the mission team in Mission Control, the engine on the second stage has successfully shut down. So coming up shortly is payload deployment. In 1.5 minutes, all the payload have been deployed, and those cubesats will separated from the spacecrafts in a few minutes. Congratulations and thank you to our customers Falcon Aero. It's a privilege to be interested with deploying your spacecraft to orbit. For more future updates, please follow iSpace Team on Twitter or our website. So with 13 successfully beta launched, we're going to end today's webcast. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you again